can believe that America formed from this 1800s, the 1700s to the 1800s. That's what it dawned on me. And the Oregon Trail began early and ended late. So now let's talk about the Oregon Trail. The Oregon Trail first started on the 1840s when newspapers in the 1840s, a little bit earlier than that, more Americans want to believe that Americans need to believe in Christianity like a symbol. And also, that's the religious part. And in the 1840s, newspapers began to print about some western states in the United States. And inside the western of the United States, there's a country named Oregon. And people in a state just about Missouri independence, or people began to move east to the west because some think it's too crowded and others think that it's not good. It's too crowded, busy, and maybe they need to plant more farms and create new crops. So they decided to go to Oregon and headed there. But now let's zoom down a little bit. The first pioneers left the city of Independence, Missouri in 1841. And when they just leave it alone, head into the park, they got there by just uncomfortable wagons, and those stinky little of them. And they often packed all of their belongings. But then soon there comes that the Oregon Trail is ready to begin. When they began that first trail, they left some city in Kansas, Kansas City or something like that, and maybe they stopped in there. But they often faced a lot of the dangers in the beginning, because when they got the dangers and difficulties, most of them, 10%, you know that 10% or 15% of the pioneers, 800 pioneers went on the Oregon Trail, and the 800 pioneers, 10% of them died, mostly because of gunshots, because they are really rare. But sometimes there's also disease like cholera, and mostly that is the occur. And also they have native people which they encountered, and they faced many difficulties crossing lakes and wagons, and they crossed rivers. But the uncomfortable wagons were stuck. They were stuck. And when they were stuck, they need to have a better way to chance. Only a few of them went to Oregon City, Oregon. And that's they started a new life and planted crops and grow their own farms, fields and yards. And maybe this isn't, now this last thing I'm going to tell you is about the life of the pioneers on the Oregon Trail. The life on the pioneers on the Oregon Trail was a little bit special for me, because at the Oregon Trail, at first in 4 p.m., which is wake up, and at 6 p.m. eat breakfast, 8 p.m. ready, and 12 p.m. ready to go, 1 p.m. ready to work, 3 p.m. and they do chores and eat. And at 6 p.m. they decided to, like 6 p.m. they decided to eat supper. And in that time, or in 8 p.m. they decided to sleep. And that's all I know about the Oregon Trail. It's a very, very long trail, a hard trail, and I'm very, very shocked and to discover about the Oregon Trail. And when they discovered the Oregon Trail, they were also the descendants of that trail were determined to make its way for the Oregon Trail to find a more life. You can still see him in the Oregon Trail. And that's all. Goodbye everybody, and thank you for listening.